Chapter 2. The day we flew to school. It was time for school and we were going to be late. I knew this because Mommy was running around the house shouting, "Where's my bag? Where's my bag?" "I'll find it," said Daddy. He looked under the table and in the fridge. "Not here. Where did you see it last?" "I don't know," wailed Mommy. She threw all the sofa cushions on the floor, but her bag wasn't on the sofa. It wasn't in the microwave either. I quickly looked in all the drawers. Ollie thought we were playing a game. He pointed at the cellar and said, "Wheezy, wheezy, wheezy." "All right," said Mommy. "There's nothing for it." She stamped her feet 3 times, clapped her hands, wiggled her bottom and said, "Marshmallow," and poof, she was a fairy. Then she picked up her computer wand from the table. Most of the time it looks just like a normal phone, but as soon as she touches it, the screen starts to glow and it grows into a wand. Mommy says a wand needs a fairy's touch to come alive. Mommy Fairy waved her computer wand, pressed the code on the screen, blip, blip, blop, bloop, and said, "Baggery-doo." Nothing happened. I looked at Daddy, and Daddy looked at me. Mommy says when she was at school, she was busy doing sums and playing tennis and telling people what to do that she didn't have time to practice her spells properly. Granny says if only she used an old-fashioned wand instead of that silly computer wand, then her spells would work much better. I don't think the spell worked, I said anxiously. Shall we just keep looking for the bag? Well, it should have worked, said Mommy Fairy. She bashed her computer wand. What's wrong with this thing? Look, said Daddy, and he pointed through the open window. What's that? We all peered out. There was a sort of multicolored cloud in the sky. It was getting bigger and bigger. What is it? Said Mommy Fairy. It's coming towards us, said Daddy. It's bags, I said. It's lots of bags. It looks like it's going to rain bags. The cloud was right above us. It rustled and quivered. There was a tremble of thunder. Then, boom! There was a bang, and the bags started raining down all over the house and garden. There were all sorts of bags. There were handbags, carrier bags, and paper bags. There was a tartan shopping trolley, and a unicorn rucksack, and a pink bag with a big black buckle. "Oh," said Mommy Fairy, I like that one. I loved the unicorn rucksack best. It was all glittery. Some of the bags landed in the garden, but some came down the chimney, and some fluttered in through the window. One brown paper bag blew itself up with air, started dancing in the fruit bowl, did a waltz with the banana, then popped. A beach bag landed on Daddy's head, and he said, "Get off!" "Oops," said Mommy Fairy. "I don't know how that happened. I'm sure I said the right spell." She started blushing her computer wand again. "Is this your bag?" asked Daddy. He was holding up a black handbag. "Oh, there it is," said Mommy Fairy. "Thank you. Where was it?" "On the door handle," said Daddy. "Where it always is. And isn't it time for you to leave for school? Come on, Ollie. Let's clear up the mess." "Toffee apple," said Mommy Fairy, and then she was just Mommy again. I was getting worried because today was a special Be On Time day. Everyone who came to school on time would get a sticker from our teacher, Miss Amy. The pupil who arrived first would get a special shiny sticker. I really, really wanted a shiny sticker, but it was already 8 o'clock. School starts at 8:30, so we needed to get going. "Quick, Mommy," I said, "quick." I ran out of the door, lugging my school bag. Next door, my not best friend Zoe and her mom were coming out of the house. Zoe usually leaves early than us because she does swimming or ice skating before school. She's a very busy girl. I've known Zoe all my life, since we were both babies and in proms. Her mom always says, Ella and Zoe are best friends, they love each other. But she doesn't know how mean Zoe is to me. She pinches me when no one's looking. She says nasty things when Miss Amy isn't around, and once she ripped my brand new fairy pencil case on purpose. Morning, Ella, said Zoe's mom, and got into her car. Zoe turned around so her mom couldn't see her, then stuck out her tongue. "We are going to be late," she said. "We are going to beat you, loser. Bye." She laughed her horrible laugh, jumped in the car, and slammed the door. Their car started and roared off down the road. "Mommy!" I yelled. "Come on!" I really didn't want Zoe to get the shiny sticker. At last, we got in our car and set off. Mommy said, "Don't worry, Ella, we'll be there in no time. I'll drive super fast." But as we turned the corner, we saw a traffic jam. Not just a little traffic jam, but a great big traffic jam. There were cars and buses and even a big lorry, all squashed together in the road. "Oh dear," said Mommy, "I'm sure it will move soon." But it didn't. We sat there, and nothing moved. Some cars started to hoot their horns. Other cars turned around to go a different way, but we couldn't go a different way. I was getting more and more worried. "Don't worry," said Mommy. "I'm sure Miss Amy won't mind if you're late." "But I can't be late for school," I wailed. "I can't. Today is Be On Time Day. If we get to school on time, we get a sticker." "A sticker?" said Mommy. "Yes, a sticker, and whoever arrives first gets a special shiny sticker, and Zoe will get there first, and she'll get the shiny sticker and I want." "A shiny sticker?" Mommy thought for a moment. "Well, that's different." She stamped her feet 3 times, clapped her hands, wiggled her butt on the car seat and said, "Marshmallow," and poof, she was a fairy. Her shimmery wings were all squashed up in the car. I couldn't believe it. I said, "Mommy Fairy, someone will see you." "No one's looking," she said. "Now let's get out of this traffic jam." "How are you going to do that?" I asked. "We are going to fly," she said. "Fly?" My eyes went wide. I'd never flown in a car before. "Of course, but first we need to be invisible." Mommy Fairy looked her computer wand out of her bag. The screen started to glow and it grew into a wand. She pointed it at herself. Me and the car pressed the code on the screen. Blip, 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 blop, and said, Invisarido. I felt a funny kind of tingling. "Are we both invisible now?" I looked around. Is the car invisible too?" "Yes," Mommy looked pleased. "The spell worked perfectly, right? I just need to do the flying spell. Crash!" Mommy and I gasped. The huge lorry behind had bumped into us. The driver looked very confused because he couldn't see our car. Bang, crash, wallop, crash, ding, crash. The man was still trying to move forward, but he kept blushing us. "Mommy Fairy," I cried, "we can't be invisible in a traffic jam. It's dangerous. That lorry is going to crush us." "Ah," said Mommy Fairy. "Yes, good point, Ella. Let's go." She pressed the code on the computer wall screen, blip, blip, blop, and said, "Oopity-doo." Next moment, the car whizzed straight up into the air. Then it did a big loop like a roller coaster. "This is amazing," I shouted. "This is so cool." "Flurry-do!" shouted Mammy Fairy, and the car started flying along like a plane. I stared out of the window at the streets below, and all the cars and buses and lorries in the traffic jam. Everything looked so small. The cars were just like toy cars. The people like tiny dolls. Even my school looked like a toy school. There it was ahead in the distance. "Have you ever flown a car before, Mammy Fairy?" I asked. "No, but I've flown a carpet," she said, "and a car is much easier." She looked very pleased with herself. A flock of birds came near, and Mammy Fairy quickly flew the car even higher, so we didn't bump into them. I thought the birds looked surprised to see us. I waved and jiggled. "Look," said Mammy Fairy, pointing out of the window. "We're nearly at school. Wasn't that quick? We'd better hurry down, but we mustn't let anyone see us. I'll try to land behind that tree." She pressed another code on her computer wand. Blip, blip, blop. Down a do. But the car didn't go down. It kept flying. It was flying and flying away from our school, away from our town. Mammy Fairy started blushing her computer wand. I stared out of the window. I couldn't believe it. My school was disappearing into a distance. "No car," I said. "Go back, down a do," Mammy Fairy shouted. "Down a do, down car, down a do." The car suddenly started to go down and landed in a field with a crash. Mammy Fairy and I looked at each other. Then we stared around. All we could see was grass and trees. "Oops," said Mammy Fairy. "I don't know how that happened. Maybe flying a car isn't so easy after all." "Where are we? Let me see." Mammy Fairy looked at the sat-nav and bit her lip. "Oh dear, we've gone far, too far." We got out of the car. There weren't any roads or people or houses. All we could see was a single cow. "We'll be real late for school." My voice trembled, but I managed not to cry. "We'll be late and won't get a shiny sticker, and Zoe will laugh at me." "Zoe will not laugh at you," said Mammy Fairy. She put her arms round me and gave me a big hug. She wasn't easy to hug, with her wings still scrunched up from being in the car. "And we will not be late." "But Mammy Fairy," I said, "look at the car." The car was all crumpled up from landing in the field. It had a big dent in the back where the lorry had blasted it and the wheel and fallen off. "Oh dear," said Mammy Fairy, "that's not good. Daddy won't be pleased." How will we get to school now?" I asked. "What will we do?" "We will." Mammy Fairy stopped and thought. "What? We will. What?" "We will walk," said Mammy Fairy, "with our magic legs." "Magic legs?" I said. "What are magic legs?" "They are legs that can walk extra fast. I'll do another spell. I haven't done it before, but it can't be that difficult to make magic legs." Mammy Fairy waved her computer wand and pressed the icon on the screen. "Blip, blip, blop, legs do," she said. At once I had a strange feeling in my legs. It was a wibbly-wobbly feeling. I looked down and gasped. "Mammy Fairy," I said, "my legs have turned to jelly." They were all red and shiny. I looked at Mammy Fairy, and she had jelly legs too, only hers were green. I was wobbling everywhere, and so was Mammy Fairy. Wibble wobble, ribble wobble. "Oh no," said Mammy Fairy, "these are not good for walking." She looked closely at her computer wand. "I really don't understand what went wrong." Suddenly I heard a snorting sound. I looked around and saw something rushing towards us. The something was the cow we had seen early. Only it wasn't a cow at all. It was a bull with two sharp horns on its head. It was a big and brown, and it looked hungry. When an hungry bull is charging towards you, you really, really don't want those jelly legs. "Mammy Fairy," I yelled, "watch out! We've got jelly legs, and the bull is coming. He can see us." Mammy Fairy gasped. The evil spell has worn off. She waved her computer wand and pressed the cord. Blip, blip, blop. Invisible do, she shouted. Quick! Now we were invisible again. But the bull was still charging towards us, and we still had jelly legs. Hex, said Mummy Fairy. It can't see us, but it must be able to smell us. She jabbed her computer wand. Legs as it do. Help, I cried. It's getting close. Help, do another spell, Mummy Fairy. Maybe this one is better. Mummy Fairy pressed the code on the screen. Blip, blip, blop, and shouted, Come on!